I'm Uncle Mark, just doing inner and outer tie rod ends on my 2014 Chevy Cruze. The inner ones are a little tougher to do, but we'll show you how to do it, and I was able to do it. Maybe some of the tricks I show you will help you make it easy. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Yeah, this video is a little bit longer, but that's why the chapters are in there, because I had some issues. It wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be, so let's show you step by step. Now, where do you jack? This is where I would jack on the front, under... It's part of the subframe. As you can see where I'm jacking there. It's right there's a bolt. It makes it a little easier. Of course, good to have the vehicle on the ground when you try and loosen these. I'm going to just put it back down just to break them just loose, and then I'll jack it back up. And we can take them the rest of the way off. Don't want any strain on the wheel or the nuts. So we'll jack her back up so we can get the wheel off. Loosen them all the way. I'm going to cheat here. I've got electric impact to take them the rest of the way off. Wheel out of the way. A total must. You need a jack stand under the subframe, somewhere under there, just in case. You never know. I'm going to clean up the bolts and the threads on all these parts here first, and then I'm going to soak them. I did soak them first, but it's like, oh, they're pretty bad. So I'm going to clean them up a little more, soak them again. And this nut too as well. It's try putting a wrench on it and it's just not fitting properly. Give them a soak, let it sit for a little bit, some penetrating oil. And you can see, boy, this guy does not want to go on there, but it's the right size. Put a little one underneath to hold this outer tie rod from moving back and forth. I'm just gonna put it so that as I move this out, lefty-loosey, the other one that's holding the tie rod end will just sit against the lower control arm. Now this bolt's not moving. I tried and tried, so we'll skip over to heating it up. I've got propane torch. We're just going to heat it up. I've actually got the MAP gas, the yellow one on there. That burns a little hotter. That's what I'm using this for. I don't have any, just basic tools is what we're trying to do. Get that back on there. And knock it off. What I used on here was, well, I'll list the size there. For some reason I don't know if I couldn't find my metric that would fit in here or not. I'll try and loosen it a little bit more. Then 18 millimeter on the outer tie rod end. These sometimes will spin in the middle. So I'll show you what you can use if that's a problem. I'm going to just lube it up a little more. This one seems to be sitting there perfectly fine. Of course, the passenger side gave me the issue, which a lot of times these do, just all rusted. I used an E12 socket for that. It seemed to fit on there pretty good. It's maybe just a hair tight, but I didn't have to hammer it down. I just pushed it down with my hand. You fit on there, and you can hold it. Well, if you have a ratchet, you can do this kind of silliness. Make sure it's working the right way. Or if that doesn't work, an 8 millimeter socket in this case also would fit on there, and I was able to take that off. That was for the driver or passenger side. The driver side came off easy. Doing the driver's side first, as it's the harder side, I found out. I'll whack the control arm pretty hard here, and it should just pop out. Now this tie rod's garbage anyway, so I'm going to tap it out the top here. Could you do me a favor? If this video is helpful to you so far, can you give me the thumbs up? That way YouTube will know that we're trying to do some decent content here, and it'll help me a lot. Thank you very much. Back to the video. And then I'm going to count the turns because we want to put the new one on properly without having to do an alignment. Well, they're going to suggest you do one, but in theory, if it's been straight all this time, and you count the turns, just put the new one on, same amount of turns back in, tighten that locking nut there, and in theory, it should be okay. Here it comes. 13. So if you are putting the new one on, you can skip. Yes, just skip ahead to the chapter with the time shown above, and you'll see me putting it back on. Otherwise, if you're doing the inner tie rod end as well, that's what we're going to do now. So see, here's a clip or a clamp that's holding the rubber boot on. right there. Not the easiest thing to get at, not the easiest thing to film. This inner one has one of these kind of a clips. You can either use just normal pliers to squeeze it together, which I found was easier on the other side. Get that out of the way. Now this back one, it's crimped on. So what I have here is I'm taking a small screwdriver and I'm gonna try and twist it to expand the crimp to unlock it. Right there. You'll need a fairly long, thin, like a small tipped flat screwdriver. Have to play around with it a little bit. Not a whole lot of room in here, but you're not recording it, so it'll be a little easier. Ended up hammering my screwdriver in there so I get a little more room. Twisted it a couple times. It's gonna take a little bit of monkeying around.
Came off somehow.
And I got this clamp off. It unlocked on its own. Pull it out, I'll show you what it is like. You could try and reuse this, but it was hard enough to get it off. Never mind put one in there and try and re-clamp it. So I'm going to use a zip tie. I'll show you later on how long that was, how it went on there. That should just come out. It should just slide if the metal here is fairly smooth, not too dirty. And that's what the inner tie rod end, the ball, I guess it's like a little ball joint or something, what it looks like. I'm going to use this kind of a removal tool. The tool link is in the description. You can find them on Amazon. A little bit fiddly. It wasn't a whole lot of money. I don't know what the better tool, how well it would have worked. I'm sure it would work a little better. But this is all I've got to use, so that's what I'm doing. So what you'd have to do is tighten this on here. Make it pretty tight. And then use an extension on the ratchet you usually use for a socket. Get that in there and loosen it. Of course, you're only going to be able to loosen it so far. Then you'll have to undo this and turn it back, tighten it up again, have it positioned again, tighten it, loosen it, move the clamp again, tighten it. It's going to take some time. So I'll show you how this works. So once you had it all tightened up, and I'm trying to turn it left, and I'm having this sway bar in the way a little bit, so I could barely move it
Or not.
enough to get this thing to even loosen. So I had to reposition the tool. I tried it a few times, and then I came up with this brainiac idea that I lift the lower control arm a little bit. That should move the suspension a little bit, and it did. It actually, watch as this torsion bar, or yeah, that's what it is basically, moves out of the way a little bit. This is the driver's side. The passenger side, for some reason, must be set up a little differently, and I had no problem on that side. But this side I had to jack up. So as I mentioned, you're gonna have to tighten or loosen them once they're where they need to be, or as far as you can go. Reposition it, tighten the two nuts back up, try and loosen it again. Once you get it down to where you need, loosen them again, reset the tool where it needs to be, tighten it up again, back and forth, back and forth. Once I got it fairly loose, but it wasn't loose enough to take off by hand, I'll show you a little trick. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, bottom right hand corner, you'll get the next video that comes out. What I found out is just have it loose enough so I'm kind of jamming it with the extension there to cause pressure to hold it down. So I just tightened it with some pressure. I got it to turn, then I just left off on the pressure a little bit. If you can understand what's going on, I haven't binding. I could loosen it again and then try and jam it tight and reposition it and loosen again. So unfortunately I lost some footage, but basically you just unscrew it. Pull it out and it's just a rod with a boot on it. We still have this nut on here that's preventing me from taking this rubber boot off because I want to reuse it. I didn't buy new ones because there's nothing wrong with these. And it was so tight, and I remember we heated it to just get it to unloosen a little bit. It does not want to come off. So I'm going to heat it. There's a new nut with the new inner tie rod in, but this one has to come off to get the boot out. It won't go out the other way because you've got that big, it's like a big ball joint. So just have to heat it up enough to get it off. You want to be careful. It's hot. So anyway, played around with a little bit with the heat. I think we've got enough heat on it, but it's just still a little bit. So I tried spraying some of this penetrating oil in there. Of course, it's so hot, it's just evaporating, but it did help a little bit. Some of it stayed on. And towards the end here, it's like not touching that bolt. Now the new one here, the inner tie rod end, I put a little bit of Loctite on it just to make sure that it stays tight. Screw it in as much as I could by hand, and easier said than done because it's slippery, tough to do. Once I got it in as much as I could, I used the tool again, and we're just going to reverse the process. I tried to just snug it up a little bit and bend this extension back and forth to, as you can see here, give it some grip till we can't get the grip anymore. Then try tightening them. This bar is a little bit in the way, but it's not too bad. This was a little slower process because it has to be so tight now or it won't move. But just little by little till I got it to the point where it wouldn't move anymore. Then if you can do it, 71 foot-pounds or 96.3 Newton meters is what they'd like it torqued to. That's what I did. I was able to do it. Now I'll take this brand new nut off, as we need to put the boot on first. And remember, there was an actual clamp on there. I'm going to use some cable ties. These are 11 inches long. You don't need them any longer than that. I was wondering if you could maybe get them a little shorter. And you might be up to, I don't know, 10 would work for sure. Probably a 9-inch if you can get some of those. They're not a whole lot of money. See, as long as you had, 2 inches shorter at the most, I guess. These are 11s. Try and put this baby back on so it just slides over there. But first I want to lube this piece up here just on the outside because the rubber, this dust boot is going to be rubbing against it the whole time. The accordion's been going in and out and in and out, and I just hoping that it'll last a little longer if it's got some kind of lube between it and our inner tie rod end. Trying to get that to slip on there. Not the easiest thing again to get your hand in there. It's doable though. So came back for another idea. I thought, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that lower control arm down because we don't need that up anymore. It'll drop that sway bar. And as you can see, it went down. So I can stick my hand on top, I'm hoping, and be able to grab it, position it the way I want. I thought from the top might be the easiest. Here, we'll actually show you from up here what it looks like. Just to give you an idea, you can actually see it there. That way I could see that the boot was sitting on properly. Now I'm going to try and take some needle nose pliers, grab the end of the little zip tie, and twist it in a circle kind of thing. There we go. Like to the right, I guess. And this way I'm hoping it can pull and tighten, which it did. It's just not a whole lot of room. You're trying to use your hands. It would be nice to have two hands in there, but don't think it was going to happen. Maybe longer needle nose pliers would have helped. Not really sure. This is how I did it. I was able to tighten it up. Give it another couple turns here, and it looks like we're done. So something else I didn't realize is where this boot from the rack, where it actually was sitting before. Now this tie rod part here actually has a notch in it, and I'm guessing that's probably a measurement. That's what I'm thinking. So what I ended up doing is I turned the steering wheel all the way to the left, because we're on the driver's side, so that the boot pushed in as far as it's going to go to, or push the boot against it as far as it would go. So I figured, well, if that's as far in as it's going to go, we'll figure out how far out it goes. But that seems to be where it wants to sit. So put that on with those little needle nose pliers. Got it sitting there. That was good. I'm gonna put this lock nut, I guess if you want to call it that. Here's our outer tie rod end. Now in this case it was, what was it? This side was 13 turns. The other side, who knows what it'll be. So let's start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Come on, 7. You know how to count to the number. 8. Just send it. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There we go. And we're going to lock this in place. This way, in theory, the alignment should have been as good or as bad as it was before, and the tires were wearing no problem, so I'm just going to leave it at that. It's probably recommended you get an alignment, but I don't know how much closer it's going to be than this. Just a reminder too, if you have one of these vehicles, top right hand corner, flashing yellow arrow, I've got a playlist on this vehicle. I might be able to help you with some other repairs on your vehicle. Now there's a torque spec to this 18 foot-pounds, and we also want to tighten up this locking nut as well. You're going to want to hold this all together. Probably better if you hang on to the tie rod end itself, just so it's sitting where it needs to be. I'm just going to check the movement. It looks like I am done. Thanks for watching. I appreciate all the comments. I try and answer every one of them. Make sure this everything moves well and doesn't bind, and that rubber boot isn't stretching. You'll also want to, when you put your wheel back on, I'm going to snug these up, then just drop it far enough so the wheel doesn't spin, but not all the pressure on it. Torque these nuts in a star pattern to 100 foot-pounds. This gun won't do that. I actually have a proper torque wrench for it, but I'm just going to let it sit on the ground just so it doesn't move. 135.8 Newton meters. Look forward to seeing you another time. Thanks for watching. Stay safe.